I went with my friend, and I was like, hey, it's pretty cool. And, thankfully the Lord led us, back together, and it was all in his plan. And I thank God now. I was baptized at 18, and never would have thought this back then, freshman, sophomore year. But I'm actually going to the SUM Bible College here at Turning Point. So that's just a little of my testimony. And, now I'm here. So I'll let Mariah take over. And then after that, we're going to share a little more in depth about our story and how everything happened. So
I don't think I'm really a pacer, so I don't need to get up. So my name's Mariah. So kind of a similar background, almost. I grew up in church. My parents were leaders for the youth. So I always grew up in church. I knew God. I knew who he was. I knew that he was always going to be there when I needed him. But now that I look back, it's like I don't think I ever really had a relationship with him. So fast forward to probably middle school, my parents were going through a really rough time. They ended up getting a divorce. And it was just a really tough time in my life where losing my dad and not having that relationship with him and just feeling so alone. And then I got to high school, and I played softball, and that's how we met. We met through baseball and softball friends. But high school was rough. I mean, I know school's rough. Public school is just, gosh, the kids, it's just, yeah. But went through high school and had some friends. I wouldn't say I was, really in the bad crowd, but I was definitely, leaning towards that way because I didn't have God in the center of my life at all. I mean, I knew he was there. I knew right from wrong, but it was more of what I wanted, what my flesh wanted. So I had friends that weren't the best. I thought they were good friends. I just thought they were good for me. And my senior year, I just had a lot of drama going on, and just me and Christian broke up. And it was just a lot at once. I felt like everything was crashing down all at one time. And I was just remember that was probably my breaking point was whenever me and him broke up. And I just remember screaming and asking God, why are you letting me go through this? Where are you? I know you're here. And in that moment, I knew he let me fall like that to my breaking point because I was putting everything in front of him. And he let me fall in order to see that, to realize I didn't need Christian. I didn't need my friends. I didn't need softball. I needed him. And so I think that's when I truly came to Christ and realized he's the only true love that I ever needed, and he's the only person that I can ever rely on. And then, let's think. Oh, a big one. So I had a scholarship for softball. I was planning to attend the University of Dallas, and I was committed and everything, ready to go. And a month before when I was supposed to move out there, I received a call from my coach, and she was just like, hey, I wanted to see if you realize that you need to pay $8,000 before you head over here. And I was like, what? I'm not going to be able to come up with $8,000. And she tried getting me scholarships, and it just wasn't working. And I'm just like, I'm not able to do this. And then my mom, she works at the church. So she was like, well, what about SUM? And, of course, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Who wants to go to a Bible college? And so, but the funny thing was, even though it's not what I wanted, that's what God wanted. And he opened all the doors for that. He closed the University of Dallas, and I ended up at SUM. So that's a little bit of my story, and then I guess kind of backtrace to us. What did you want to share? What else did you want to share? Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Well, we met our sophomore year through a couple of friends. He was my first baseman, and it was her, what, shortstop? So we were pretty close, okay? We were pretty close. And, yeah, they took her to one of my baseball games, and they were like, we know you like somebody on this team. Okay, who is it? And then I guess she said me. That's what I know. That's the story that I know. Sorry. But yeah, we went, we had no relationship with God. None whatsoever. Especially with me, not even, at this point in time, I despised church. Like, I hated it. I hated the thought of it. I hated the thought of the people because, I was like, oh, they're all hypocrites. They all do everything, the same thing as I'm doing. They just go to church, so it makes them look better. That was my thought process. And she was kind of going to church at this time. And she would ask me, and I was like, no, I'm not too sure. Like, I don't really want to. And this is around the same time I was doing drugs. And it just led down a spiral to where I was, like I said, I was lying. I was going places I wasn't supposed to be going, hanging people I wasn't supposed to be hanging around with. And it really, really put a really big hole in our relationship to where she couldn't trust me. At this point, I couldn't even trust myself. And I told her this after the fact, but it felt like I had been, taken over by something that, I couldn't control. And it's like I look back now, and I'm like, how? But I wasn't in the Word. It was an open opportunity for the devil to creep in and take over my life. Because, you hear a lot, drugs are the gateway to hell. Dang right. Because they are. And I was down that path. And I thank God every day because he pulled me out. He snatched me out because he had a plan for me. He has a plan for me. And he knew that without him, we couldn't have worked out. But after we broke up and, after I went to church, we started working on things together. And it's just amazing to see what he's done in our lives. For one, bringing us to church together, that was unheard of in the first part of a relationship. Like, what? I'd go to an event or two, but I'm not stepping foot in the sanctuary, But he's worked wonders in the both of us, healing things that we put aside because we were toxic. Y'all hear that a lot, especially on TikTok. Oh, you're toxic ex. You're toxic ex. Yeah, we were those toxic exes, okay? So we could not trust each other worth of nothing. And it was just, he healed every broken part of our relationship just because we said yes. And like I said, I just thank him every day that he's healed so much between us. And he's blessed us with the opportunity to get engaged now. We're 19 years old. All my tias and tios are like, that's unheard of, first of all. That's oh, she's 20, sorry. Forget. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He can work wonders, okay? And as long as you keep him in the center of your life and put him before anything else, he can do anything. All it takes is a yes.
Sure. I don't think it's really, yes, it has to do with us, but I think it's more of what we learned during this part is I know how it is to be in high school or even middle school. And it's kind of like our flesh wants something, and we could want it so bad, but it doesn't matter what we want. It matters what God has for us because his plans are greater than our plans. And so I think that's really on my heart to share with y'all is what he wants for every single one of you. He has planned that before you were even born. He knew what you were going to do. He knows where you're going to end up, who you're even going to marry, down to your kids' names. He knows every single hair on your head. And so I think that's really what God wanted me to share with y'all, and just have patience because it's a process. That's pretty much it.
Oh, so I was thinking about this back there. So this hit me so hard because recently, I'm going to be open with y'all. I have been struggling when it comes to worrying. Like, my anxiety takes over, and recently, she knows all about it. I mean, I've broken down multiple times throughout this week, let alone the month. And today, I had a job interview. And the whole way there, the whole day, even today at work, I was just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, what am I going to say? What questions are they going to ask? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm driving, and I'm like shaking, literally shaking, because I'm so scared. And, you know, I have a lot of other things going on. Like I said, we're getting married, and school, our families, jobs, money. And on the way back from the interview, I felt God's presence in the truck, and I'm just like, whoa. And I heard him say to me, why worry? You have me. Why worry? You have the God that helped David slay Goliath. You have the God that moves mountains. You have the God that parts the sea. What's the job? What's money? So when they say don't worry, I mean, don't. There's no reason. That's just the devil trying to sneak into you. That's all anxiety is. Don't worry. Put it all on him. And when Pastor Jonathan said, picture him with open arms, and you giving these problems to him, man, that broke me down. Because money, my job, school, my relationship with her, I said, I give it all to you, Lord. Because why worry? You've had my back since day one. You pulled me out of the fire when I was smoking marijuana in the back of the truck. You led me to this church. You led me to this leadership role. Why worry? Why worry? That's all it is.
Now stay up here real quick. Man, thank you for sharing that. And you know what? That's a good reminder for me. I don't know about y'all. Like, has God not been faithful to you before? If you really know him, you've been walking with him for a while. I mean, I'm sure there's some times you can look back and say, man, God pulled me out of this. He pulled me out of that. He hasn't changed, y'all. He's the same. Y'all graduated from Crowley, right? Anybody in here go to Crowley? I know some of y'all do. I'm coming to y'all school soon, by the way. But y'all in middle school, right? Or you're not at Crowley High School yet, are you? But you're going to, right, eventually? You're going to North Crowley. I'm in North Crowley right now, but somebody told me, I think it was not Ethan, but I know some stuff going on over there. I got to get over there. Yeah, Mila's like, yeah, I've just been hearing. Anyways, when did you graduate?
Last year, 2023.
See, he just graduated last year, y'all. Just come right in and start doing ministry, right? What about you?
2022.
So 2022, 2023. So, hey, they're right there with y'all. They know. They know that environment. They know that atmosphere that some of y'all are dealing with. All right, do y'all have any questions for them? Do you want to know their favorite food? You know when they're born? Do you want to know their social driver's license number? Come on. You can borrow $5. You got a question? All right, Lexi's got a question. Do you want to use the mic or no? She does not want to use the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, she does not want to use the mic. All right, since we're live streaming, right, I'll just repeat your question. Go ahead. All right, so the question is, how do you deal, you're talking about Christian, right? How do you deal with anxiety?
Prayer. That's it. Prayer and just sticking my nose in that word. That's all. That's all you can do. Every time I pray, it's just a regular conversation with God. It's just put in, like he said, put in all of these things on him, because he can carry that weight. We can't without him. And knowing that, it helps.
I know you didn't ask me, but no, well, definitely that, yes. But something I used to do was I would go walking, or for me it was running. I would run, or even sports. That was my outlet of anxiety or me being stressing over things. I would run, I would walk. I would, I know it sounds weird, but something my counselor taught me was kind of just look around in the room and look at a shape or a color and kind of just focus on it. I don't know why. It worked for me, so you can try it. But yeah, that's.
We heard that.
Who? Oh, you want to get on the microphone, right? Oh, yeah, it's live stream. Live stream.
Okay. How did you propose?
How did you propose?
As you can hear him in the back, he was there. Yeah. Oh no. It was in December, so at the Botanical Gardens they had a lightscape, and I know she loves her Christmas lights and she loves her flowers. So I was like, well, that's a good idea. So a bunch of family and then family friends or family came, and yeah, I did it. I did it in a. There was a little walkway, and it had a heart, or a heart lights, and I did it right there. Yeah, so it was somewhat romantic. Okay, it didn't help that my family was like ah! in the background, but yeah.
I think we got another question over here. Are you scared of the mic, Nilla? You get on this mic? All right. She gonna laugh though. As soon as I get over here, she start laughing.
Wait. Okay, wait. Like, so how do you know when the food good? How you know it got the
Did y'all hear? What'd you say? Gosh. All right, she said, how do you know when the food's good? Is this cryptic? Is this some kind of slang that we... Come on, somebody decipher that for me. Anybody know? I got my thoughts, but, they're probably wrong. No? Y'all know? How do you know when the food's good?
When it tastes good, I don't know.
He said it tastes good, ladies and gentlemen. It tastes good. That's how you know the food's good. Tastes good. Because nobody wants to eat cardboard. Okay? Nobody wants to eat cardboard. Got to have some seasoning, right? Man, you put seasoning on cardboard and it'll taste good. But I ain't doing that. Yeah, Cameron's no. You probably die, but hey. All right, any other questions? You got a question? Yeah, any other questions? Are you sure? You gonna use the mic? Okay.
Y'all got cats and dogs?
You got cats and dogs? If you do, then tell us what they are, what their names are.
I have, stop. I have one dog. His name is Toby. He is 7 years old, and he is a applehead chihuahua. So he's 2 pounds. He's tiny. Mm-hmm. He's what's it called? A miniature, basically. It's what it is. Yeah, a teacup. There you go, a teacup.
Anybody got an applehead chihuahua?
Anybody else have an applehead chihuahua? Oh, I have a dog and a cat. The cat is mine. Her name is Carmela. Trust me, I didn't name her. She was a gift. She's old, very old. I have no clue how old she is. And then I have a dog. His name's Ozzy. He's a Australian Shepherd Border Collie mix. Yeah, to answer your question. He is 4 turning 5 this year.
All right, shout out to cats and dogs.
Okay. What do you guys think God's callings are upon your life? The people gotta know.
All right, let's give this over to you first.
I'm not exactly sure, but I know the area of ministry he's calling me in. I think it's young women and youth girls. And recently he's been giving me, he's been talking to me, but also giving me visions. And I had this one vision. I haven't talked to you about it yet, but I was going to. Where, I don't know, it was really heavy on my heart where in my senior year, we had these people come in, and it was kind of like counseling, but it was just kind of talking through your emotions, what to do when you have anxiety, how to deal with it, some coping mechanisms, whatever. And I thought it was so cool because it's that's so rare. And I know and we as kids are going through a lot, especially at that age. And I felt him tell me, really the only answer is him. And it's so rare. It's not even common for the gospel to be in schools. And he gave me a vision of Pastor Jonathan and a couple of leaders in my high school. And we had a gym full of kids, and they were just so open, this was something they were praying for, and they were just so eager and hungry for God. And it was just so, I can't even explain it to y'all, but I just have a really big feeling that he's calling me into high schools.
For what? Oh, okay. Well, I received my calling last year at our evangelism conference outreach for our school, ECO. I have never experienced something like that before, and first of all, it's like YFN but for big kids. Yeah, bigger kids. But I did not want to go, and this was during that stage where I was like, I didn't want to go at all, and when I remember it was the last day, and our curfew, what was it, 9 p.m., right? For the hotel? Yeah, for the hotel, or what was it? Yeah, you didn't have a curfew, but us students did. Yeah, us students did, and let's just say we praised and worshiped a couple hours after our curfew, and it was powerful. And I received my calling right then and there. I remember driving home, and she was in the passenger seat, and I just remember crying. And they say whenever you receive a calling, one of the first signs is wanting to do this. And I had never imagined myself, wanting to become a pastor. And right then and there, I was like, I really want to do this. I have no idea where it came from. Now I do. But yes, pastoring, he's called me to pastoring. I'm not sure whether that's adults or youth. I'm still, figuring that out when it comes to him talking to me and speaking to me, telling me where to go, but pastoring, yes.
That was my first interaction with Christian. We were at a park, and he's never really said anything to me. I don't think we've even said hi and bye, you know. Just he was just some dude. I'm some dude. I don't know. But he just came up to me and he was like asking about being a pastor. And he was like, yeah, I got a calling on my life to be a pastor. And I was like, wow. Like, how old are you? You know, and it's rare to find someone such a young age that already knows the calling on their life. So if you don't know the calling in your life, don't feel ashamed or anything, because I'm telling you, it's not very common. So both of them know the calling on their life right now. And God can change it too. So, I mean, he has the desire to do that now, but, you know, maybe God is using that desire to propel him in spiritual growth, and it might change in a few years or something. Who knows? I don't know. It's happened with me before. You have a question? No? Yes?
It's nothing bad, okay? Y'all need to quit. I'm about to go off on y'all. Okay, so, no. What do y'all want us to take away from this? Like, I have gotten a lot from, like, what y'all have said, but I just want to know, like, what was on y'all's heart to, like, give to us?
Okay. So, you know, I've thought a lot about my testimony and, you know, the message, and it's just, you can lean on him in your darkest times and he will still prevail. And I'm pretty sure you've got that when it comes to, you know, the places I've been and things I've done. It's just depending on him when you need to, and you have to want it. You know, you can't just randomly, you know, be in a dark time and be like, God, pull me out. And then when he pulls you out and you're all good, and then you ignore him. It's wanting that. It's wanting that relationship with him. So I believe that's the main message is you have to want it. You really have to want it. And he will prevail.
I think for me, it's his power. Like, you just heard our testimonies, and in that season of my life, like, I thought there was no going back. Like, everything that was going in my life, I felt like the enemy was attacking me in every single area of my life, and it was just like, God, like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't overcome this. But then when I realized all I have to do is just give it to him, it wasn't instant. It took time, but it was just learning, like, he is so powerful. He is greater than anything in this world that you could ever think of. And I think that's really what I wanted y'all to take away from this, and to realize, like he said, not only do you want him in the bad, but you want him in the good times as well. And I think Pastor Ronnie was talking about this the other day with us. Oh, because we're doing marriage counseling with him, so it was a little thing. But he was saying you need him most in the good. And it doesn't make sense why, but the reason he gave us was to prepare for the attacks that the devil is going to give you. Because, yes, he'll creep in the worst times, but also he'll come knocking at your door when you're not even expecting it. So, yeah. Definitely that.
All right. I'll take one more question. I didn't know we were going to have a whole thing. Okay. All right.
All right. Encouragement, not a question. So 2 things that stood out to me. Continue living in obedience to the Lord like y'all are, and he'll open up the right doors for y'all, for your ministry, right? You have the calling. Y'all both see it and feel it in your heart. We'll just keep living for the Lord, and he's going to open those doors for you. Number 2 is the restoration of y'all's relationship happened by putting the Lord first. And so when y'all are, have some bumps in the road in the future, when y'all are struggling, because it's bound to happen, right? It's relationships. It's the nature of them. Seek the Lord first. Put him first. And he'll bring restoration once again.
Man, words of wisdom. All right, y'all give it up. Christian and Mariah, thank y'all. And they are going to be going to YFN summer camp too, so yeah. Going to baptize them with fire. Just throw them right in. Haven't you been before, though? Like when you were, that's crazy. He was probably under my leadership at YFN. No, I'm just joking. I've been meeting some people, y'all, because I've been in youth ministry for so long now, and I've had some people recently come up to me and like, oh, yeah, I remember I used to go to this youth ministry, but it wasn't when I was youth pastor, though. But, yeah, you don't remember me? And they're like 26 now, and I'm like, no. I'm like, geez, have I been in youth ministry that long? Ugh. Or someone would come to me like, yeah, we went to YFN with y'all. You remember that? I was like, no. They got a long beard and mustache now. Like, nope, don't know who you are, but okay. But anyways, speaking of YFN, we have never had this many people signed up at this time of the year. We are pretty much halfway done. I know, it's crazy. I think I'm going to do this every year and just put that urgency in y'all because it seems to be working. But anyways, all right, thank y'all for joining us. See y'all. I'm messing with her. All right. What was I going to say? I was going to add something about that. Oh, yeah. I'm just missing. Sunday is Cultivate Night, the first one of the year. It's going to be at Mi Casa, so if you've never been there before, it's a risk, y'all. I'm telling you right now, it was a risk to put my, Lexi's laughing, put my address on the screen. Now y'all know where I live. Oh my gosh, this is a risk. But Sunday, we're back with Cultivate, and he had to leave, but Daniel, newly minted student leader, is going to be leading that up. So y'all got to come out and support him. He's a good guy. Come out and support him Sunday at what time? Who knows? Mackenzie? 5:30. I'm asking because I asked this question to Hannah the other day, and she never answered me. That's okay. I said, look at that slide, because I don't know what time she put on there. Yeah, it's 5:30. All right, so Sunday, 5:30. All right, I'm just trying to milk this clock, y'all. It's 8:28, and you know we always go to 8:30. But no, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss y'all. And you guys have a great night. Be good in school, even you homeschoolers. And we will see you hopefully Sunday. Goodbye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jump out of sight, feeling nauseous.